Hello, everyone. Welcome to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. This is the Going Bold, goingboldmedia.com, and you guys are listening to the Link to Expert Goodreads Authors Corner. I am Cece Schatz. I am fondly called the Doyenne of relationship building, and I have my good friend with me here, Joanne Weiland. Joanne, tell us a little bit about you.
I love connecting, I love collaborating and celebrating. So that's why we started the show to teach and show and share different experts as well as even their books. Like today, we're going to be doing Kim Nagle's book, The Damn Plan. And it's just so exciting because of the fact that I feel like, none of us can be an expert at everything, but we can hire different experts to help us accomplish our goals and dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. And nothing better than a little help from our friends, right? So we have Kim Nagle with us. Let's bring her right up. Hey, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Hey, how are you gals?
We're doing pretty good. How about you?
I am enjoying a little cool weather right here in Minnesota.
Wow, yeah, that's a ways off from us. We're in Florida. But we want everyone to know that Kim Nagle is a keynote speaker, a business coach, and she's the author of this great book we're going to be talking about today, The Damn Plan. The Damn Plan. I like that. Yeah, there we go. Very nice book. I'll have to get the book. I haven't gotten it. But yeah, so it's a little new to me, but let's talk a little bit about it. So, Kim, tell us a little bit about your journey as to why you wanted to write this book.
Oh boy, it has been a journey. When I first started writing it, everybody was asking, well, how long did it take you to write it? And I said, well, I wrote the first draft in 7 days. And they're going, wow. I said, but it took me 30 years to come up with everything else. And the bottom line is I've been in business for 30 years. I've been a solopreneur. I've been a partner in businesses. I've been a coach to businesses. I've still helped start what I call entrepreneurial ecosystems in communities. And I've been doing this work for 30 years. So when I decided to put it into the damn plan, it was the synthesis of all of that, plus having been in the trenches, being still in the trenches of owning a business as a mom, as a partner in life, as a grandma, as a friend, as a citizen of this world. We don't do business in some kind of isolation chamber. We, in fact, do business in the midst of our very real lives. And I wanted to tell people that. I wanted them to know that. And that the most important thing they could do was to design a business that fit that really real life, rather than always trying to squeeze life into leftover time, as I had done for a few too many years, and learned my lessons, learned them hard. And that's where the book comes from. It is, as one of my reviewers said, a kick in the backside from your best friend and a guide to how to start and run a business.
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah, it's hard because, a lot of the information that we have as we progress in life, we don't always put it in, like concise it, put it together so that we can share it with other people. So I love the idea that you did that. So yeah, kudos to you.
Well, it became, just to add a little bit to it. So it's called the damn plan. Okay. Damn is kind of a wonderful word. I'm an English major too. And damn, as far as I'm concerned, is a very versatile word. Here in the North Country, when we put our winter coats back on for those 30 below days and you stick your hand in your pocket and you find a 20, you go, well, damn. And likewise, when you drop a 20 on the sidewalk and can't find it, you go, well, damn. But damn is more than just a kind of a fun word to say when you're up or when you're down. It is an acronym, and it stands for determined decisions, act consistently, mind your business, no excuses. And it is literally a guide. Those 4 principles are a guide for life and business. If you think about them, determined decisions we'll actually act on, and then taking that action consistently and minding our own business and making no excuses for why we can't have what we want.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. What do you think, Joanne?
I do, and I also love that she also offers like a summary so you can kind of make your own quick plan just to show you the in depth of the book. I
Okay.
mean, I always feel like that helps. It kind of gives you an idea. Is this for me? Is this something that would benefit me? I think it would benefit everybody in business personally, from my own experience of experiencing Kim, is, damn plan. And I just sometimes though people need a teaser or something just to get them, knowing that they really do have to create one. I know when I visit clients, unfortunately, so many times they brag that they created a strategic plan, but I ask them, well, what'd you do with it? And they said, oh, it's right over there on the shelf. And I'm like, what? So I feel like it's not just a plan, but it's a work. It shows you how to work it. And because if you don't work your plan, Norman Vincent Peale was my original mentor, and he always told us, plan your work and work your plan. And
Wow.
and if you don't plan, you plan to fail, because you really do have to have a plan.
Well, I love that you just said that, Joanne, that, I wanted to grab a book and go, here's everybody's strategic plan. Blow the dust off of it. That is what people have, this great party. They have somebody catering a lunch if they're a good sized organization, or they sit and write a strategic plan and then they actually never work that plan because they put things in that plan that they weren't willing to do.
Right.
And that is the premise. What are you willing to do and what are you not willing to do? And ladies, that takes a great deal of introspection. I love the work you do, and I kind of peeked around at your relationship work, Cece, and it takes a great deal of introspection to become good at relationships. It takes a great deal of introspection to really design a business that you're willing to do what it takes to make it work. Because there are some things you have to do for some types of businesses that some people go, not doing that, not never, not no. And why would you design that business? Because you're not going to work it, and then it's not going to work. And yeah, it's not logical. So in the damn plan, all of that introspection is in there. It starts out with, what do you want? What do you want in this life? How many hours do you want to work? What does your relationships look like? What are your priorities? What's your truth about how you really behave when nobody's looking? That's a hard one. That's a real hard one. What's your truth about your beliefs about money? All of that. So when I opened up the book in the introduction, I kind of got a little cheeky because, we've all got these 1 a.m. can't sleep. We turn on the infomercials is what's left, if you're watching regular TV or we're cruising through YouTube or whatever it is. And somebody's willing to sell you a program that'll, make you a millionaire, help you lose 500 pounds overnight without ever leaving your couch. And I just go, yep, I could promise you that, but I wouldn't be telling you the truth of what it really takes. So I said, do you want to know the truth to what it takes to start a business? Do you want to know the secret sauce, so to speak? And I says, it's being honest. It's telling the truth. What are you willing to do? What are you not willing to do? What do you want? What don't you want?
Well, I think also we have to add, what are you willing to give up? Because
yes,
you're doing your own business. It's like when you said, like, I didn't even know there's another hurricane on the way because I don't have time to watch television. I don't know.
I didn't either.
Alarm goes off on my phone telling me, prepare for the hurricane. I don't even know what's coming.
Well, I knew about it, and I'm way up here in the safety of this nice, cool day in Minnesota. But you are absolutely right. What are we willing to give up? That's a biggie, because you don't have to give up everything. I want to make a little correction, because a lot of people stay way away from business because they have this erroneous view that to be a business owner and to be successful, you need to work 80, 90, 100 hours a week, get paid less than minimum wage, and love every minute of it. No, that's bad design. So here again, the damn plan is all about design. design your business, intentional design, so that it fits the life you want to lead. So that for me, I can say yes to my granddaughters when they call and spontaneously tell me, oops, grandma, I forgot I have this very big special occasion. I'm being inducted into the National Junior Honor Society. And could you be there? And I can say yes, because I've designed a business that allows for that freedom.
Yeah, that's very important. That's very important. I think when I talk about giving up, what I mean is that there's a lot of stuff we do that we don't have to do. It's not something that, like you don't have to sit and watch every evening on the TV. You don't have to, it's things like that you have to weigh. Do you want to give that up? I would never give up anything that had to do with my children that was important, going to anything like that. And I, go away on vacation and I do, fun things and stuff like that. But I give up things that I don't feel is that important. I don't need to watch. I don't need to watch the news and find out all the bad, negative things that are happening in the world. And hopefully, one of my friends will tell me that hurricane's coming. So yeah. So other than that, yeah, whatever. But I agree with you. I think we have to be smart. We have to be smart about what we do. We have to do what we feel is important to us, and what gives us joy, because our businesses are what we do the majority of our time, right? Our waking hours. And so we want to do something we love doing. I know, Joanne, you and I have talked about this a lot. You love doing what you do. You love connecting with people. You love helping with people, move and their business and connect with leaders and experts in the industry. And so that gives you a great deal of joy. Yeah.
It does. And I think that the other part of it that we're maybe not realizing, we're not saying it out loud, but I also think people that already are in business could really use the damn plan, because I think a lot of them do start without doing what Kim's recommending. But I don't think that it's too late. I feel like, sometimes you just have to push the reset button. And I really do think this is priceless. And I know for me, before I knew about the book, what I did was I sat for 2 weeks and jotted down every single thing I did in those 2 weeks as a business owner. And then I went through and thought, what can I eliminate? Like a lot of things we don't even need to do. It's just BS. I mean, we just are either told we have to do it or we've always done it. And a lot of it is really not important. And then the next thing I did was I looked, what can I automate? What can I pay the programmers or my virtual assistant to automate this, so we don't have to do this every week, every day, every month, whatever it was. And then the last thing was, who can I delegate this to? Because there is things in whatever business you're in that really you're not going to love to do. You're not even going to want to do. But, there's somebody out there that loves doing that. And so what if you paid them to do that part so you could focus on the part you're really good at, is really what I recommend over and over, day after day for the last 20 years, to hire an expert to help you with the parts you're not good at. I mean, Cece comes up with these amazing graphics and logos and designs. I wouldn't even know how to begin to do that. I mean, just as an example, you should also, work with people that have different talents. Because if you're both doing the same thing, you're not going to get there. I always think of Walt Disney. I mean, him and his brother worked together for 9 years without talking because they were so different. Walt was the dreamer. He had 5 bankruptcies. He was always looking at the grandiose plan. Ray, his brother, he always was practical. We can't afford that. We can't do that. It will stop. So they actually had a mediator that would, communicate to each other, but they didn't actually talk because they were frustrated with each other. But really, when you think about it, it was why Disney became so brilliant, because they had, if you will, both sides of the brain working it.
Mm-hmm.
So you really do often need, maybe not like them as close, but as somebody that can come in maybe and do your books. I mean, there's just so many different things that we're not good at. and that shouldn't stop us from becoming a business owner. It should just help us recognize, okay, I'm going to have to pay somebody to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope right here, I'm going to declare it. Sandy and I, my daughter co-founder, she of the Damn Plan Coaching, we're this balance. We're not necessarily yin and yang, but I am the entrepreneur. I'm the ideation person. She is the manager, the detail, the boom, boom, boom. But she also, I mean, we have those creative wings. And I agree with you, Joanne. Definitely learn to delegate. There's a whole section in the Damn Plan about time. And as a matter of fact, if people go to my website, damnplan.com, they can find out about the Damn Time Tracker tool, which is a time tracker tool that helps people identify those useless hours that they are spending. Well, maybe I'll confess, as I did, when I was supposed to be working on writing the damn book, and I do affectionately call it that from time to time, I was kind of wasting a little bit too much time watching NCIS reruns on Netflix. All right, there I said it. But when I really brought it back in and captured that time, that time we waste, that was huge. But a lot of the time we waste, truly, like Joanne said, is when we don't play to our strengths. When we figure, oh my gosh, hey, I can figure out QuickBooks. Anybody can figure out QuickBooks. Well, and then they spend 6 weeks creating something that doesn't make any sense, and that a really good QuickBooks Pro could have accomplished in 2 hours. It would be good information in and out. Boom, you're done. But no, I can do this. I don't need somebody else to do it. Well, making determined decisions, the D in the Damn Plan, is all about identifying who's the best person for the job, knowing the facts of what needs to get done, how much time, where's your time best spent, where's your money best spent. We work with women predominantly who have been in business for 2+ years. And 2+ years is kind of a magic number because they've been in business long enough where they've gotten some zings, they've gotten some wins, and they are learning. They have learned that they'd like to have it different. Mm-hmm. Number one, there's way too many business owners, especially women, that are not building businesses that pay them what they're worth.
I agree with that one.
And it's about damn time, if I can say it. I don't mind saying the word. It's about damn time that attitude changed. Because it's an attitude. It's not a requirement. It's an attitude about what you're worth. And I like to say I like to kick people's backside with love. And that's a topic I kick their backsides with love about, because the value that so many of our women entrepreneurs are bringing to the table is immense, is absolutely immense. And men too.
Yeah.
And they're just not either charging what they're worth. They're not reaching the best client fit. There's so many good reasons why things aren't quite working. And we go through in Damn Plan coaching and help them get it. First, bring awareness. First, create awareness around it and allow them to tell their own truth about what's going on. And from there, anything's possible.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I think sometimes it's our hidden beliefs that we have, about ourselves as we move forward in business. And when I first started, I didn't even know I had a business, right? I was just doing the show. I just wanted to help people through divorce. I mean, I wanted to heal myself. I mean, I was using it as a tool to survive. So I just didn't even think I had anything. And then one day I started thinking, and I thought, well, I helped my ex-husband build his businesses. Doggone it, I could build my own, So I started thinking that, and I thought, well, why can't I do it? And it's funny because you mentioned QuickBooks. We had our own accounting firm, and I ended up doing, I did accounting in college, and I ended up doing all of the bookkeeping. I did the marketing. I did all the things on it, and he didn't like doing it. So we ended up selling the business big. I said, hey, you're the accountant. If you don't want to do it, It's not what I want to do. So, so we ended up selling the business. But then when I decided, okay, hey, I can build my own business, then I thought, where do I start? Because I really didn't even
Mm,
know how was I mean, he was like my anchor, when I was married. So I was like, whatever we did as a team. And so this, I'm thinking, oh, I'm alone by myself trying to figure this out,
mm,
right? But if I had someone like you at the beginning, it would have been really helpful for me. But then it was my hidden beliefs. It was my belief system that I found that was holding me back to be able to move forward. It had nothing to do with my mindset
mhm,
on business, because surely I helped him. I knew what I needed to do, but it was that being, by myself, being a woman, going through the difficult times that I went through, thinking, how can I build a business? So I think you're onto something here with the damn plan, because if I had the damn plan, I'd have probably wouldn't have taken me 12 years to get where I am now.
right.
I'd have been
But
there
just
a
think of
long
everything you've learned. Just think of the beautiful foundation of learning and experience you've created that now you can replicate. And you are. You're just kind of going, oh, I know how to do that. Boom, replicate, replicate, replicate. And that's kind of some of the beauty of really of a founder is that ability to do it over and over and over again.
And
right.
keep
And
perfecting
also
it.
the ability to realize, I'm sorry, Joanne.
No, I said, and keep perfecting it. I mean, Cece, yesterday when I interviewed you, we had minimum of 42 shows that we talked about that you have going on. So I think you have done a really good job over the 12 years,
Oh yeah,
getting in front of the 5 million viewers.
yeah, I've
So,
done
but
so
I do
many.
know what you mean. If you have something like the damn plan,
Mhm.
especially to help you, you know, as really like Kim said it in the first 2 years, because I think you sometimes need the first 2 years to even, if you will, know what you're doing. Especially if you're like me, I started with a blank piece of paper.
Mhm.
Some people, are smart enough to go and get a franchise or something like that. But I just knew my personality wasn't one that likes to follow somebody. And I'm just being upfront because that was part of what Kim talks about in their to do, the thinking of what you're good at, what you're not, good at, what you want to do, how many hours do you want to do certain things. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Where do you want to work from? Do you want to, be tied down? I could go on and on, but I think after 2 years, it is really good to reevaluate to see if you were doing what you were intending to do, and if not, why. And maybe I think that's when you would really want to hire Kim and maybe even go in the group coaching that you're promoting too right now. Because a lot of times with me, how I got to where I am, it was all through what I call masterminding, because I
Mhm.
had 7 other women one time for years that we got together once a month, but we also held each other accountable. And every week we would talk to that one that we were doing the one-on-one with that month. And I swear, just like you guys were talking about procrastinating, it really, when you have somebody holding your feet to the fire, well, why didn't you do that? You said you were going to.
Nope.
It's a lot easier than when you're by yourself. Well, I don't really feel like it today. I'll do it tomorrow. And then you say that for the next 30 days. And before you know it, you don't even think about it because you brushed it off. So I really feel like a group coaching program would be fabulous for this type of planning.
Yeah, I
It,
love that.
it works good. Go ahead.
I would say I love that. Tell us a little bit about the group coaching that you have.
Well, we started group coaching a year or so ago. I've been doing one-on-one coaching for 30 years with women business owners. And I started just doing the group coaching for precisely what Joanne said. Well, for actually two reasons. And each of you said one of the reasons. Cece, you talked about being alone.
Mhm.
There is a lot of loneliness, just simple loneliness going on that kind of drags our spirit down.
Mhm.
And once our spirit gets, kind of dragged down, so does our creative juices.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, it really does. I always say, we got to save a lot of those little gray cells up there. We can't be having them doing crazy things when we've got to be creative. So the group coaching model really helps. A lot of women have reported that it's just simply good to get on and share with somebody who is like-minded, who understands what it's like perhaps to have a baby that you're trying to catch at the same time you're trying to do that podcast and look just really good, and you've got all this disaster going on around you, or maybe you've just walked away from a disaster, and it's not always a disaster, by the way, but someone to share the good and the trouble and help troubleshoot with in a group setting. And then the idea of that accountability. In our group sessions, we ask people to speak out. What are they going to do in the next time frame? And then the group, I mean, it's just natural peer support. Sometimes the groups offer opportunity. Sometimes they offer some support in the background. And then they also offer that accountability when we go around the table, so to speak, and people go, well, I kind of, no, I didn't quite get it done, but I did this. And it really, it just, when we get all up in our own heads, that's really not a great space to be when we start just being in our own heads. So a group environment really, really helps with that. It is not for everyone. I have many clients that say, nope, I think I need to work on this independently on my own with you. So they work one-on-one with me, and it just depends upon the person. But one of the things in our group coaching that we do is we create a cohort of no more than 5. So I'm not out there with 500 people in the room and I'm just a talking head. This is a conversation, and it's intimate. And then between every group coaching session, it's one-on-one with myself and the participant. So they get that opportunity to hear and experience during the group coaching session. And sometimes there's stuff they want to just talk about in private, or there's pieces we need to just like laser focus on for their business. And so we've matched the group with the one-on-one in our group coaching programs. And
really
people have really, really liked that because, even if the group's not going to kick their backside with love, they know who will.
Yeah. No, that is really good. I will share with you that when I first started the business, I was really needing some direction on, what to call it, how to go, how to start developing. I had these creative ideas, but how could I get them going? So I joined a group, a coaching group, business coaching group. But all they talked about was big corporations and like all these, try to implement all these big things that big corporations do. I'm not a big corporation. I'm just me trying to figure out how to put the damn plan together. I'm trying to move forward. So I'm just thinking that if anyone is out there experiencing what I felt at the very beginning, of the 12 years before, I think this would be absolutely great. Number one, get the book. Let's start with the book, because I think it's nice to have the physical book in front of you. Like you said, you've got that, and then you've got a plan like inside there that you can start constructing, and that's important. And then, I think connect with you on the business coaching. I think that would be really cool to be able to do something like that, to be able to save yourself, the agony.
Save yourself some agony. But I want to reiterate so that it's clear for our listening audience, that I work with women who have been in business at least 2 years. Mm-hmm. So I have been known to start. I've helped start well over 300 small businesses, but I work in the coaching with women who have been in business 2+ years. Mm-hmm. So I'm helping them grow. And I've had businesses that have been in business 20 years and we're redesigning. Businesses that have been in 2 years and we're changing the entire platform. It runs the gamut, because when people decide, when they come to a breaking point or an aha point that says, man, this is just not working for me. I am not willing to give up my family for this. I am not willing to continue to get paid less than I'm worth. I am not willing to sell my soul for anything. Mm-hmm. Then they're ready. They're ready to, and it's never too late, by the way. It's never too late. I restarted my life at 60. Totally. I mean, we're talking moving away from what most people would consider, oh, you got it made now, to, I had 40 beautiful acres with a 4,000 square foot beautiful home and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Got downsized, moved it all into a 900 square foot condo and did a complete restart.
Mm-hmm.
And in life and in business, we can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that because why would you want to go to the end of your days and say, I wished I would have done something different?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think, Joanne, too, we've talked a great deal about, you've been in business a long time. Now I've been in business for 12 years, and that we realize that things evolve, and maybe what we were doing, 10 years ago isn't really going to work today. The world has changed. Technology is changing. We need to embrace that, being able to move forward. And so sometimes you kind of do need to kind of have a reset, kind of look at everything, see where it's at, see where you're going, and then start projecting into the future. So yeah, I love all of this. Absolutely.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
and I think
Yeah.
this is going to sound strange coming from me because, I recommend people getting a coach. But I can also tell you from my point of view, I've also at least had a dozen coaches while I'm creating, doing this business, because let's just face it, we outgrow them. And that's why it might be time for them to even leave their coach and join yours to do what we're talking about, revamp, rethink. Because with me, I feel like grateful for each one of the 12 I learned from on one-on-one coaching is what I'm talking about now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of them I hired on purpose for a specific area that they were the expert at, that I needed that. But that doesn't mean I needed to keep doing that once I got that under my belt and perfected it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would hire somebody else that could help me a different part. So one size doesn't fit all, but many times we don't also realize if we use the same mentor, the same coach, the same consultant, we might just be keep doing what they taught us 5 years ago. And I'm not saying it's not important, but do you still need that, or did you already master that and now you're ready to get another layer on your business, as an example? So I just
Right.
wanted to bring that up because usually some people think once they have a coach that that's the coach for their life, and I'm not saying it wouldn't be for some people maybe, but for me, because I constantly wanted to evolve and grow and learn new things, I hired different coaches for different reasons and came up with different results.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Yeah, I likewise. I mean, my first business coach actually came into, well, I've had many, many mentors over the years, and I'm grateful for each and every one of them. People, as I like to say, that stood in the gap when I was struggling, that stood there and just were there as solid figures in my life. I think we forget that we're actually not alone and that there are people, if we just allow them to help us, that will. But on the coaching side, when I first decided to flip my life around was when I got my first official coaching engagement with a coach. And I got someone specific to the needs of my life and my business at that time. And while he's still in my circle of people that are supportive, I support him. I have moved on to other coaches who fill other needs, and every good coach has a coach.
I was
If
going
your
to
coach doesn't have a coach, if your coach doesn't have a coach, you need to ask why. Because none of us, just like, what are we going to regret when we get to the end of our days? If there's anybody that says, I know it all, yeah, right.
run.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
God gave us all gifts. He
Right.
just didn't give us all the gifts.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And that's important to say, is that, that there are wonderful coaches out there, and, it really is that where you're at, where you resonate. Do you resonate with your coach? And yeah, and making sure. Yeah, I love what you do, Kim. I think it's great. And I love the idea that you wrote the book, and, everyone now can, take advantage of that, being able to read it and apply it to their lives and their businesses, and, continue on, moving forward in a positive direction. So, yeah.
Absolutely. It's actually,
now. Oops.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I said,
It's actually available. I'm sorry for over talking you. It is so hard sometimes on this on platforms. We just, we get all excited and start talking. Okay, please.
No, I said, and
Joanne.
also they can experience a lot more of you too, because now you have a podcast that you and Sandy are doing regularly. So I feel like, it's a way for them to learn more about you. Of course, you can listen to this show as many times as you want, of course, but also to see Sandy and Kim in action on their podcast. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the new podcast that you started?
Well, for sure. We're doing what we coach other people to do. Rolling out my first YouTube videos, rolling out, training channels, rolling out the book, all of that. There had to have been a first time for all of us. And so we just we said, we're doing this damn, Sandy would say, let's do the damn thing. And we did. We rolled out our first podcast on Labor Day, and it is a touch of motivation. A touch of, where does motivation come from? I think there's a lot of people out there waiting for the magic fairy, motivation fairy, to sprinkle some dust on them and then they got it all together. Nope. The fairy's just going to kick your buttons out the door and tell you to, get working, and then the motivation shows up. That's kind of, so Sandy and I are, like I said, we're mother-daughter team. She's my youngest daughter. All three of my kids have been in business, are in business for themselves, successful in their own rights. And, from my perspective, they're my three favorite clients. And I was lucky that Sandy also joined me in business 7 years ago. We've evolved and developed and created since then. And now we just rolled out the podcast, which is really intended to be that regular dose of go do it. Go do that thing you said you wanted to do. Get off that couch. It is hard some days, because it is. There are days when you don't want to get your head off the pillow. There are days when you are smack talking yourself like nobody's business. And you just need someone maybe to understand, but at the same time hold you accountable. Do you want this dream? And that's what that podcast is all about. It's on Spotify, it's on Google, Apple Podcasts. And you can also, if you want to see our faces while we're talking, you can check us out on YouTube. And believe me, as we go with this podcast, and we refine and maybe loosen up a little bit, not that we aren't already, but as we go, you will see two women who are just out there doing it and in the trenches with you, and that understand you as a business owner. Sandy's got two small children. I'm a grandma of 7. So we're on two ends of the spectrum, but still living life large and redesigning all the time to make sure that our businesses fit our lives where we're at today. Sandy's life looks different today with babies at home than mine does with, being a single woman with grandkids. It's two different worlds, but we both can do business. So that's what you catch in the podcast. And I'm almost counting on there's going to be maybe a little smack talk between the two of us here and there.
Well, I tell you what, time has gone by very quickly, and we just love you. So we hope you'll come back again. But we have Kim Nagle here with us. She's a keynote speaker, business coach, and the author of The Damn Plan. And so you guys can email her if you'd like at Kim at Damn Plan. That's DAMN plan, PLAN.com. And that's her website, DAMNPLAN.com. So want to definitely reach out to her there. Now you can find your book on Amazon, or do you just find it on your website?
Yes.
Okay. So we get your
just
book
go to Amazon. You can, if you want to listen to me, my son, who is my Audible book reviewer, said it's pretty damn good.
All right.
So I have it on Audible too. And it's a great way to, there's a lot of good stories and motivation in it. I just I wanted to share the truth about what it takes to really find freedom, love, and money in your business. And this is the first of many, by the way, first of many books. So
we'll
as
definitely
any good writer would say, as any good author would say, yeah, I got 3 or 4 of them going.
Yeah, good
Well,
going. Good
yeah.
going. I love that.
Yeah,
So
we
everyone, if you want to be a guest, we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you on our Going Bold and be a guest. Contact either Joanne or myself. We have both the link to Expert Business Showcase, and we also have the link to Expert Goodreads Authors Corner. That's what you're listening to today. You can reach Joanne at jweiland, WEILAND. So JWEILAND at linktoexpert.com. That's linktoexpert.com. And then, of course, you can reach me at goingsolonetwork@gmail.com. That's going, GOING, SOLONETWORK @gmail. And we just love you. Thank you, Kim, for being on with us. You're our kickoff show for this platform, the Goodreads Author Corner, and we were just so honored to have you on. So thank you so much.
Well, I am just delighted to have been here and to have met you, Cece, for the first time and get to see Joanne's lovely face again. So I really, really appreciate the opportunity to be your first.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. And we will definitely have you on again. So everyone, you're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. This is Linked to Expert Goodreads Authors Corner with my good friend Joanne Weiland. I am Cece Schatz. We hope to see you next time. Bye for now.